now in studio, former federal prosecutor Doug Burns, and also joining us, New York real estate and litigation attorney Michael Romer. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Michael, sure. I'm going to start with you here. You know, again, the original bond, $454 million, nearly $500 million, but today about 2/3 of that got knocked off, and we know that Donald Trump's lawyers had been trying to get it set at about $100 million. So this isn't far off what they wanted. Do you view this as a win for the former president?
This is a huge win for the former president and his legal team. Kudos to his legal team, by the way. This was a surprise. I was not expecting to see this morning. The $474 million number was a large number, and many could argue insurmountable. You know, the former president was stating that he reached out to more than 20 different surety companies to try and obtain a bond, and he wasn't able to. This is an amount that the former president has come out and actually said that he could actually either pay directly or obtain a bond for. So this is definitely a win, and it came out as a huge surprise. So a lot of credit should go to his legal team.
Doug, this is... does she have a case now? I mean, he's got the money for this. The whole point of this was to take Trump down, go get his properties, bankrupt them. That's why the enormous bond got set in the first place. Now it's lowered much down. They might have success in the appellate court here. This is it.
There were a lot of artificial aspects to the case. In other words, in a normal case, everybody's not hysterical to not give people adjournments. You can't have an extra 30 days. You know, you must put up the full bond, which was, as Michael said, an absolutely astronomical amount. So the point is, this is a big win. It enables him. Again, there was a little confusion. People were like, oh, he can't appeal. He was able to appeal even without a bond, but the bond is critical because, of course, it staves off any enforcement.
Michael, you are a New York real estate attorney. So just theoretically, if Letitia James would have gone after any of former President Trump's actual pieces of real estate, would that have been fair? Is that something that even made sense, or was that just a total overreach and overstep?
One thing that did happen is the Attorney General did start the process of notifying of a potential judgment in Westchester for the golf course property. So that process had already started. And where we are now is it's a whole different world. So I think Trump camp is breathing a sigh of relief today. But it wouldn't have been as simple as many were jumping to the conclusion of. It's one thing to file a judgment. It's another thing to file a lien on the property, to actually foreclose on that lien. It's not as simple as many were making it sound. It's a time-consuming process. And the other piece to the puzzle is, I just want to point out, these properties are not owned by Donald J. Trump personally.
Right.
You've got multiple LLCs, trusts are in place. So if that process played out, all of the owners would need to be notified. They would need to be given an opportunity to either pay directly. So there was a rush to judgment on this.
It wasn't just run in and go take it. Oh, now it's ours.
Lock the doors and take the keys.
They made it sound like she's going to own his airplane.
No, I do believe her plan was to follow through on all those steps, though. I do believe that was the case. Let's talk documents real quick. Trump said he's going to appeal this, not documents, the hush money case where a bunch of documents got dumped last week. He's going to appeal, even though the judges said next month, April 15th, it's going to start. How does he do that? Is it definitely going to start next month?
Well, that's an interlocutory appeal, they call it. And usually in a criminal case, you cannot bring such an appeal. You have to wait until the end of the case. A couple of exceptions, being denied bail, and speedy trial, ironically. But the point is, no, I'm not so sure it's going to start April 15th. I'd be curious what Michael thinks.
Mike?
We'll see. I think it will be delayed further. I think April 15th is aggressive to put a trial together, but that's not my specialty. My specialty is real estate. One thing that I want to just touch upon before we wrap up in a few is the Pandora's box, the ripple effect of this.
Go ahead.
We're dealing with one real estate developer, right? So now if this law can be applied to this real estate developer, where you could have a judgment of $450 million for a victimless crime. The banks actually came to the trial and testified that the loans were paid off and that there was no victim here. Well, if this law can be applied to Donald J. Trump, what about other developers?
That could change the New York City real estate landscape completely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would assume the street is talking there. People are worried now.
Yeah.
We in the real estate market are worried about that because we need more development. We're in a housing crisis, and we don't want to be in a position where we're scaring developers away.
And especially after the pandemic, when a lot of people left the city already and they never came back. All right, gentlemen, lots to get to, but we're going to have to leave it there. Doug Burns, Michael Romer, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure. Appreciate it, Mike. Nice suit, too. It's blue pinstripe.
It's a pinstripe. It's a pinstripe
Similar to what
kind
I'm
of
wearing
day.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Keep up with you.
Yeah, okay. Very good.